Alright, so a lot of things happened last night when I went to sleep, and judging by the look of things, well, I'm starting to feel like I probably should have pulled some Snow White shit and just not woken up. Hey, what's up guys, it's time for another mystery skin gift giveaway. If you want to enter into these, it's very simple. All you have to do is subscribe to the channel, like the video, and leave your region and your summoner name down below. Here's some of the ones that the winner from the last one won. Also, if you want to join the Discord, if you want to have some discussion with our community and the comments aren't enough for you, there'll be a link for that in the description. And finally, don't forget to turn on that notification bell so that you can enter in as soon as the video goes live. Here's the video, guys. Enjoy. Hey, what's up, Sockjar? How's it going? Welcome back to yet another video, and I guarantee, even with this video having been pre-recorded, I can tell the look on your face. Your face is likely contorting into the human embodiment of the thinking emoji, and you probably feel like this must be a fever dream, because there's absolutely no conceivable way on earth that this could be a thing that exists. No, Nunu is not about to become an overpowered pick. The champion that we've loved to hate for so many years, the champion that you can basically tell is going to be a GG the second it gets locked in, is getting buffs on the PBE that if they actually go through, is going to make him completely ridiculous. Like, actually hilariously broken to the point of being worthy of being a ban in solo queue. And I know you're probably sitting there thinking that I must be mentally challenged to think that Nunu is going to be a threat to anyone other than his team and likely himself and his friends and family. But listen up, because this is ridiculous. I posted my don't care, didn't read patch notes yesterday, and I thought that would be like the bulk of the changes. But this one slipped right through during the middle of the night, and not seeing too many people talking about it tremendously. I ended up seeing it on Twitter when I woke up this morning, and oh boy! So, the changes, of course, being that, in general, Nunu's base attack damage has been lowered from 67 to 70. Okay, not the biggest deal in the world. As well as that, Nunu's consume, his Q, now additionally grants 3 to 11 plus 5% AP magic damage on basic attacks. Once again, it's really not the biggest deal in the world. It gives him a little bit more oomph when he hits his auto attacks. Give him a little bit of AP on that as well, so stacking AP isn't quite the biggest gimp in the world. But oh boy, Nunu's W Blood Boil obviously used to be an attack speed steroid before. It now additionally increases AP by 40% to himself and the person that he grants it onto. So that has a max of between 40 and 120 for both targets, which, in combination with a couple of other things, make this potentially one of the most broken steroids in the game. Like, I shit you not, this is about to become an Ivern situation. You guys remember when Ivern was like pick or ban? How unfun that was, just constant shields, really nasty CC. Wow, it was a lot of fun. Well, this is a situation that we're looking at, and I'm really sorry if this video isn't particularly edited, or it's not very well scripted because it isn't scripted at all. But we're just kind of going off the cuff on this one. But I really am interested to know exactly what the hell anybody at Riot is thinking with this one. So obviously, Nunu has been a bit of a shit tier pick for quite a long time. He's got such a massively low win rate pretty much across the board on every single role, mostly because people always tend to pick him when they disco Nunu it running it down mid. But this has the potential to throw things in the completely wrong direction. Now, I was kind of expecting that in 2018 we'd be seeing a Nunu rework instead of any buffs to him, because he's kind of an archaic champion, he's kind of boring, he's kind of stupid. We saw a mini rework on him last year with the way his well-fed works. And we saw a kind of rise in people playing him as a tank jungle instead of like a support, I guess, which is what his original role was, I guess. But what the fuck do we call this? This is so stupid. So basically, the way that it's looking right now is that Nunu still isn't really going to be a support. I don't really know like what they were going for, trying to add extra AP onto his Blood Boil. I guess they were trying to buff Nunu so that he at least had a little bit more AP, but I mean, it doesn't make any sense in bot lane with like AD carries and stuff. However, let's say you're playing Nunu jungle and you've got yourself an Azir mid laner. Azir is a champion that will very highly benefit from an extra 40% AP, the attack speed, the massive attack speed at level 5, by the way, like the passive on his soldiers that he gets, and the 50% attack speed buff that you get for Blood Boil on someone. I mean, not even considering that you could potentially go for something like Lethal Tempo in Azir if this was the case. This all adds up to a shitfest, and it's just, it boggles the mind. And I feel like this is like giving way to like a potentially new tactic, and if this goes through, I would not be surprised to see a massive spike in dual queue jungler mids playing Azir and Nunu, and I'm calling it right now. That's gonna be the pocket pick that people pull out, and it's gonna be potentially a really, really insane boosting tactic to boot. So you've got your Azir, a champion that has mega massive range, a champion that does a lot of damage if left unchecked. If he can get his soldiers doing damage, they absolutely obliterate. Obviously, the main like fallback of that being is that they can't really slow anybody. They don't do a lot of slow. They can't. It's hard to keep the soldiers in range. You add a Nunu onto that mix, somebody that can drop a snowball, an ice blast onto somebody, keep them locked down, as well as giving 50% attack speed. As well as that, you've got 13% movement speed, and now 40% AP on top of that. Now, of course, this is going to be like not the biggest thing in the world. Like, Azir early game isn't going to be like majorly affected. He's going to have to build a little bit of AP, because you need at least 300 AP to get the maximum out of it. But if you have a Rabadon's death cap, and you have 300 AP, the Blood Boy will give you 162 AP, I believe. And by the way, shoutouts to Shakarez as well on Twitter, who did all the maths for this. He's definitely an analytical mind, way better than I am. And as well as that, Shakarez says that with all these steroids and all these things being added to him, the gold value of all these steroids added up together, the movement speed, the attack speed, and also the AP, it adds up to 4,373.5 gold on a 12-second duration buff that has a cooldown that it's only off cooldown for about 3 seconds. And I'm just calling it now. If you're in lower elo and you get put against Smurfs, you're donezo. I can entirely see Nunu's running jungle with Azir's mid, them just farming up until Azir has about 300 AP or is pushing in on that, and then Nunu just going mid, because you're not going to win a 2v2 against a Nunu and an Azir. If they know how to keep their distance, I mean, like, Azir's got the Shurima Shuffle to back off, he's got Emperor's Divide to block you off, Nunu's got Absolute Zero, he's got the movement speed to give to Azir to keep him back. He's got the Ice Blast to slow you down to like a crawling pace so that Azir can just keep chunking the hell out of you. Seriously, what is anybody thinking and letting this potentially go through? It's only going to affect a couple of champions. The couple of champions off the top of my head that it could potentially affect are stuff like Azir, potentially Kayle, although she doesn't have like mega scaling off of her spells, but still, major attack speed, major ability power buff for her would be absolutely perfect to make her even more of a late game monster than she already is. Even maybe like Kog'Maw or something, a little bit like after he gets Ginsu's, just a little bit extra AP that will help push him to the fucking limit. And by the way, if you have any other like champions that you think might work really well in this, feel free to drop them in the comment section, because there's probably a couple that I haven't thought of. But this just seems like such a perfect way to start Season 8. I was so bright-eyed, bushy-tailed going into this and the preseason started. I was so happy I couldn't wait for Season 8 to begin. And then after like a bit of preseason, a bit of poke meta overcoming everything, and then going back towards the tank meta that we saw before. So like now Aftershock gives you flat 100 MR and armor on it proccing. And then this as well. Fucking what? This might be a bit of a shit show of a season. If this goes through, someone is supremely dropping the ball on this one. Like, the way to fix a champion isn't to overtune him to the point that he's going to be a pick or ban. Like, it doesn't solve anything if the champion is banned every game, and I don't think that is something that Riot really, like, considers. Like, do they think it's a success if the champion is so strong that they're banned? Because I feel like that's going to be the thing. Like, his shield was hilariously overtuned, and then he got nerfed slightly, and then everybody stopped banning and playing him because he was completely useless, and I feel like they're having a lot of trouble getting these champions to a point where they're actually consistently or fairly consistently picked, but there isn't massive glaring gameplay issues if the champion isn't overtuned. Like, Nunu doesn't work, really. He's old as shit, he looks like shit, which sucks because he's actually got a skin that I think is one of my favorite skins in the game. I really like Zombie Nunu, which is in this video right now, but you never see it because the character's old as shit and just plays like ass. He's so archaic, and I don't know, it's bizarre that it's not gone through the rework treatment yet. And I thought that they were going to do it this year, but if they're just going to overtune him to hell and then forget about him for another year, then fuck. I was going to say rest in peace Nunu mains, but they clearly don't exist anymore unless you're like hard-inting every single game. But like even champions that don't scale with both attack speed and AP like Azir does or like Kayle does, still gonna be a massive issue. Like, the poke meta is like pretty bad as it is, but imagine just getting really early on into the game like a 1,000 gold worth of AP out of thin air for 12 seconds, and it's only off coding every 3 seconds. If you're playing like, I don't know, Lux or someone that can poke from really far away and does quite a lot of damage and like gets that early game spike. Or hell, the last thing I need is a Katarina snowballing even earlier into the game than she tends to already do. But I just thought I'd make this video warning you guys, because what? We got, I mean, I was gonna say someone needs to speak up about this, but I mean, I'm doing that right now. This, as much as I'd love to make a video on Teemo bot lane with Nunu support or Nunu jungle with Azir for a video and get like lots of views, clickbait the fuck out of it, that'd be great, man. Because, you know, January ad rates, what have you. I don't think it's gonna do very well for the state of the game, if that is a thing that actually happens. Because you're pretty much saying, okay, we know this champion's completely useless, but what we'll do is we'll give him a spell that lets his entire team carry for him, and all he has to do is occasionally, once every 15 seconds, run up and blood boil one person, and then retreat to the backline and let all the extra gold in terms of stats that you've given to that person do the rest of the work, which is absolutely not what I want. Nunu was my first ever main in League of Legends back like Season 1, and Christ, you'd think that I'd be happy for this, but just, it's sad. It's just fucking sad, dude. Someone, Riot, just don't, alright? I might go and test this on the PBE and see how overpowered it actually is, just to make sure it's as bad as I think it's gonna be. But goddamn, y'all are crazy. Y'all are on some shit. Anyway, guys, take care. Let me know in the comment section down below what you think of the changes. Sorry for it to be another patch notes video, but I think it's relevant to your interest if you don't keep up to date with the patch notes and all that jazz. It's always useful information to know that you should potentially be banning both Azir and Nunu, or one or the other, in solo queue. So guys, good luck. Hopefully you don't get one shot by an Azir Nunu combo in the near future. Take care. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Bye. It might be a VR video tomorrow, by the way. I'll play a clip at the end here just to see. If you guys like it, let me know as well. Take care.